We have such a cool topic and so many cool things. But before that, we've got some news, Rebecca.
We do have some news. So we finally hit 5,000 subscribers. Like for us, that's really exciting.
I mean,
yes, and
to some people it's not, but to us,
it's very exciting.
It's a big time.
Yes. And to celebrate, we are doing a giveaway of a 5 basket. So every item in here has something to do with the number 5.
I see 5 in a row.
5 in a row.
Here's a game.
Another fun game called like 5 crowns and 5 towers.
That's so cute.
So just very 5 themed.
And how do they sign up to win this basket?
We're gonna make it very easy for you guys. Just drop us a comment in this video. It can be a question about today's topic, be a question about something that you would like us to cover in a future video, or just saying hi to us. So just put a comment below and we will look through those, and next Friday, so you have a whole week to drop a comment on this video.
So they're gonna see that they won on their comment, because we don't have a phone number or anything.
Very true.
So they have to, next Friday, check back on this Friday's episode and check their comments.
See if they are the winner, and then just contact us, right?
And, you know, continue to like and subscribe and share us with your friends. You know, we're getting some good feedback that people are getting some good insight from these episodes.
Yeah,
That's so
and
fun.
our videos lately have been answering questions and kind of content that they are wanting to see. So we are listening, and
we hear you.
We will do videos in regards to that.
All right, we're gonna set this aside for now, because we have so many cute things and interesting and educational things that we're going to look at and talk about today. And we want some space, so I'm just going to scoot us around. Rebecca, before we get into this, we've got a new face.
Dun, dun, dun!
This is Miss Tara Buchanan, and Tara has some interesting background as a homeschool mom, and she's a podcaster.
Here we go. Not video, but here we go.
This is her first time doing this format, and we're like, oh, you're adorable. You're a good talker. It's going to be a piece of cake.
Well, I love coffee. I love curriculum. So I think I'm in the right place.
It's a perfect fit.
I mean,
here we go.
What, like it's hard? So a little heavier thought here.
It is a little bit. You know, with everything going on in the world today, there's a lot going on. And it seems like the world just bashes us because it's coming from all sides. And it got us all thinking, how do we connect what's going on in the world, the current events in the world, to education? How can we bring in some of that for our kids? And a big question is, where are you getting your news from? Because that news can really translate into a teaching moment, you know?
So we're going in the realm of social studies here with geography. And you know, the tricky thing about history, social studies in general, is there's going to be a bias.
Yes.
So as a parent, you need your discernment hat on to figure out what is something you can live with, what is something you want to share with your kids. You know, do you want to focus on yours? Do you want to bring in, this is what other people think? That's all something that you're going to decide as a family.
Yeah. And when you're looking at the world,
it feels so daunting.
It does. It
like,
does.
oh.
Like, what is your anchor? You know, like
How to teach those things.
Yeah. Like, and how do I make it meaningful to me? How do you make it meaningful for your 7-year-old or your 13-year-old? Where do you find your anchor when you're looking at the world and what's going on in the world? And geography is a wonderful place to start doing that.
So think about this. You've got a 7, 8, 9-year-old, right? They've been on the planet less than a decade. How do you make, and you always hear parents say, oh, I learned so much more teaching history to my kids. Well, of course you did, because you have context. But a 7, 8, 9-year-old's been on the planet a short amount of time. Their context is you, and here's me, here's you, here's our neighborhood, here's our farm, here's our animals, here's a place we go, here's our co-op friends, here's our church. You know, it's very tight. It's a small world. So what an opportunity to take that natural central focus and build out from it.
Yeah, there's a curriculum that I do love. It's a Charlotte Mason one. It's elementary geography.
The Black Book.
The Black Book. And there's now some curriculum developed around it called Living Geography, and that's the whole idea. They start with the student's world, which is like their bedroom. And
it's relatable.
Yes, and ask them, make a map of your bedroom. And then from there, that just kind of keeps getting bigger and bigger. But it's that idea we need to have an anchor point.
Well, some of that's the social emotional learning too. Like this is your world, and now we have to acknowledge that there are other people in the world.
Right.
And learn about them.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of the opposite from that classical approach, which takes the chronological timeline of history and works on memorizing facts. It's like, okay, that's a whole different approach. This approach is more geographic in nature. You know, you build your home, your bedroom, your town, your state, your region, your country, your continent, and you get out to the world. And in the context of that, you're hoping that your kids are going to be making valuable connections.
Yes.
Because with connections come retention.
And if you think about geography, instead of the historical, which is the dates, and this happened a long time ago, which for some young kids, it's hard to think about what was 1,000 years ago. With geography, you have a picture, a place to say, this is, we're looking at a where
It feels
rather than a when.
concrete.
Right? It's easier to tackle than 1,000
Right.
years ago.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like geography as that sticky point. So even the little puzzle shapes of the states, I think, are valuable because a kid will learn, oh, the little boot is Louisiana, right?
Yes.
And then when they're reading about the Civil War or a famous president or something, they're going to go, oh, it's that puzzle piece that was yellow and it had this on it and it had a crawfish on it. Why did it have a crawfish on it?
Yeah.
Well, what you're getting into is cultural geography versus physical geography. And that's an interesting distinction. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Like that physical geography is, okay, can you identify mountain ranges? Where's this river at? You know, does this geographical area have plateaus and valleys and all of these things that's talking about like the topography, the ways of the land, you know, and how they're
what
falling.
you're standing on.
Yeah, what are you standing on?
What are you standing on? I love
Or
that.
swimming in, you know.
Yeah.
It's like what the physicality of that area. Whereas then the culture, which is my bread and butter, really, is the people, the food, the politics, the religion, like what is going on. It's almost borderlining that sociology a little bit.
It is.
You know, it's the study of the people, the culture, and what's kind of going on in that area that you're studying.
And that goes to the political geography, which we talked about in the beginning.
Right.
That I don't think I learned as a kid that these lines are arbitrary. Some of these lines, and then
They are
there's
human
current
construct,
events,
yes.
right? Sometimes these borders change a little bit based on what's
sure
happening in
do.
the world.
Well, we get questions sometimes of like, how up to date is your globe? You know, we have to understand, oh yeah, Sudan didn't exist, you know.
It was
at
just Sudan.
one point,
There's no North South.
pre-Sudan or post-Sudan, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, those political borders, they're
parts of the
changing,
world.
and that's what's contributing to current events, really.
And you know, I'm not turned off by a map that has just Sudan, because what a cool conversation and what a thing to watch.
Yeah.
The border change, and why is it changing? Now you've got this whole human element, and that human element is really going to connect with some kids. So we want to talk about a few different things. So a lot of times parents want geography, and they don't really I
what
need
they
geography.
want. Yeah.
And we'll say, do you want more of that physical, which is almost geology, or do you want more of that cultural, which is almost anthropology? And odds are they want it all. But you could say, you know, what would be more appealing to your child? Are they more interested in, you know, the costumes and the dances and the songs and the music, you know, the fun,
Yes.
or do you have a kid who just thinks maps are the coolest
are
thing
the coolest things ever.
I know Tara decorates her house with maps.
I love maps, and there are so many ways you can bring maps
Yes.
into your.
These are
your curriculum.
placemats.
I mean, this is like the stealth learning, right? It's like hiding zucchini in the brownies.
Yes.
I'm
You're
all
like,
for it.
You're putting this under their cereal bowl, and as they're eating, they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, look at that's an interesting shape."
You dropped a Cheerio on Mongolia.
So I think there's so many ways, and these are a few things we have in
Here's
our
another one.
catalog.
Yeah.
But the placemats are good. Can
I
I
just
bring a
think
little really fun stuff?
That's a captive audience. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to talk curriculum. Okay. We're going to
first-
talk about some curriculum, but let's just get this out of our system because
Yes.
Miss Tara had
first
so much
give a
fun
little
finding
hug.
these fun things.
hug
So
to you, but-
laminated maps are awesome. And a lot of them are two-sided.
world.
You can use a dry erase marker on these.
Yes.
I love how the back and the
Yeah.
front for an activity. You can fill it in.
Yeah. How fun. And I could see that being a motivation, like whoever gets to set the table decides
Yeah.
who gets what placemat.
I could see just working with youth group, and I used to have this ball that we'd throw to each other, and then we'd be like, left pinky.
Yeah.
Oh, my left pinky is on
it?
Brazil.
I mean,
And,
hands-on
yeah.
kinesthetic learning right there.
Yes. And then when it's nap time, saying, hey, go take a nap.
Can you imagine this being like a lovey for a little 3-year-old?
I love the world. I love the world.
And then if you want a really
and you
tactile
can get it
map.
off the table just
Yeah.
like that.
This is very tactile. So this is something that can be kind of scrunched up. You
What
don't
is
have
this?
to say
It's upside down.
crunch, not a crunch map, a scrunch.
Scrunch
It's
map.
kind of like
I'm okay hiding behind
Yeah,
the
there we
map.
go. Sorry, Rebecca, she's
It
gone.
reminds me of like those
in
throwaway
Nebraska.
gowns at the doctor's office
Yeah.
a little bit, kind of like fiber-ish, really tear resistant. This is something you don't have to be super delicate. Now, if a kid wants to destroy it, they're going to destroy it.
But you don't have to worry about having to fold it up accurately.
Right.
Right, and it stores flat. You know, there's a big difference though. Let's talk about globes, like the Hug a Planet I just pitched over my shoulder, and hand me this little guy.
This guy?
Yeah, so there's a big deal between showing kids where they are. Here's the United States right there, right? Okay, here's this tiny little globe. This is 4 3/8 inches.
Okay.
Fits in my hand, sits on a table, would go on a bookshelf. But to me, that's tiny. But to a little kid with little hands, that is
Perfect.
super convenient. But showing them where they are on a round representation versus a flat representation, that is a concrete to abstract shift. And that's just something to kind of be mindful of. You've also got some really cool games. And what's the songs?
This is an incredible resource. I use this with all my kids. And I'm sorry, but the songs will stick in your head for all of time.
For eternity.
If you want them there or not.
Yes.
So
Can you give
geography
us one?
songs.
Can you give us one?
Well, they do the whole America based on the northern border and the southern border and the eastern border. So if you're thinking to yourself, is North Carolina above or below Virginia? You know, you have the memorization that goes down by geography, by across, which is really practical.
By
Yeah.
across.
You know, so Washington, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin.
What's the
just going
tune?
across.
Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
And
so I
when's
say
the
that to
last time you
myself.
taught this?
Wow.
2007. I thought, it's New Hampshire and Vermont. I always get those two confused.
Yeah.
Because it looks so much alike. So I had to learn the song to
Don't
go
say that to them.
New Hampshire, Vermont.
That's leaf-
But they
that's
have all the
leaf words up
countries
there.
of the world. So again, if you're doing a country study, then you find the country that goes with it. And it'll give you a little catchy tune, a little coloring sheet, pop it in the car.
It's so
and
multisensory.
the CD.
You know,
Yes.
just creating all of that Velcro for things like where they're at. You know,
And
that's
do
such
that
a
while
helpful-
you're doing some coloring sheets, you know, that may or may not be geography related. Like, what did you call it? Stealth?
Stealth learning.
Stealth
You're sneaking it in.
You're
I don't
sneaking
know
it in.
you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like doing that with foreign language too. Anyway. So let's talk about a couple unique curriculum, all right? So
Because these curriculum are going to span the gap of, do I want physical or do I want cultural?
and a person who's choosing curriculum wants something to work from.
Yeah.
You need something concrete. So we've got this fun freestyle thing, and we're going to talk about connecting geography to different topics here in a minute. But let's talk about the person who wants physical geography, maps, and more maps. I like this one a lot from Memoria Press. So they do Geography 1 and Geography 2. Each
and-
takes
And a special.
and 3. So hang on, you're getting ahead of me. Geography 1 takes half the world. Geography 2 takes half the world. Each of those courses is a full year.
Okay.
Then you've got the option of doing Geography 3, which is the whole world.
Nice
so you do
review.
that instead of Geography
Oh,
1 and Geography 2. So
okay.
if you've got a high schooler who needs a straight up world geography, that Geography 3 from Memoria Press
Okay.
is going to do it. But you can see here, so Geography 2 is Sub-Saharan Africa, Asia, Oceania, and the Americas. And Geography 1 is the Middle East, North Africa, and Europe. And then there is a United States one.
Which is nice, can just be added.
You can add that to anything.
Right.
You can add these to any history curriculum.
What
and
levels are
be-
these or grades?
So on our website, we say as low as 3rd, 4th grade.
Yeah.
I like them more because these are, show them some of the inside pages, would you? We're putting Tara to work here. You've got
good
a
amount of text
textbook and a
here.
workbook. So
Yeah.
do I have the right text for that?
This is
which one is that?
One.
That's one.
Middle East. Yeah.
Let me grab the right text. Okay. you've got the textbook. This is your content. You're going to read a little bit about a country, and then you're going to be given a task
Some fun
to
facts and
identify. But it's very minimal, you know, a page about a country and then some data, some bullet point data. I would not call this cultural, even though it has some, you know, histories, headlines, a famous person. It's still really brief and efficient and tidy. And if that's what you're after, that's a good one.
I would
Now
say
you
good
could
for middle school.
It's middle school. I feel like the Geography 3 would be a good high school option, and maybe even just a semester, like a half credit of geography, or just work it in for a kid who hasn't had a lot of geography.
That's the great thing about geography. You can just work it in.
It's like salt and pepper. You just sprinkle it where you want it to go. So that's a really cool one. Maps straightforward. I think a kid could work pretty independently on a lot of that. But you could also add a lot of culture by finding library books and adding that to this. Now, this one.
And that's
also,
something that this one would do. You know, with not grass.
Well, and you know what I forgot to say? This is neutral. Neutral, it's got the classical bend. These are our icons.
We love our
medium
icons.
parent, that's going to be for a littler kid. It's going to be independent for a bigger kid. Multi-sensory in that you're taking reading skills, translating them into writing skills. It's not like auditory or anything, but you are doing multitasks, and it's tidy. It's all inclusive. Where this one, looking at the icons,
not grass.
show some of these pieces, would you, for me? This one from Not Grass, Our 50 States. This is for little kids. This is religious. It's going to be Christian. We have a Charlotte Mason icon, which is kind of interesting. What makes this program Charlotte Mason?
Well, when you brought up the literature aspect of it, not only does this one have the textbook, but they're also going to be using really good literature options to connect what they're learning in a very literary way and studying that way.
And so this one is going to be, I would say, the focus on the culture with good maps. So where the other one is the focus on the maps with minimal culture. Okay. And some optional resources, because this Atlas workbook, now you and I did a starter package unboxing video, and we talked about this. The kids are creating, they're filling in this Atlas workbook. So you've got the process and the product at the end that they can now use as a reference. And this is elementary, like 3rd, 4th, 5th-ish?
This is their, like, what they constitute as their middle area, so like 3rd through
and they have a high school geography too. That is so interesting. We didn't bring everything.
And a little one in the world geography with the My Big World that just came out last year. So they got geography in all 3 age ranges for this program.
And I bet David's going to put links to everything. Thank you, David, for putting links to
Cantering the Country.
This is a different one.
Galloping the Globe. So if you want to do more of a world geography, you've got your whole globe. If you want to do just your American, you've got Cantering the Country. So this is definitely your unit study approach.
Okay.
So there's not nearly as many maps in there, but it's a lot of literature ideas. Activities. So if you are someone who wants good books, I love when a program gives you those ideas. You don't have to go searching for them. You just find them, and lots of activities. So again, depending on how you're using this in your curriculum, you pick and choose what your kids want to do, what that matches with what you're already doing. But I think
so many activities.
Word searches are always a win, mazes, but they connect them to what it is you're learning in that lesson.
I love, like, right here on the front. It's not just like they're connecting geography and Bible and science and literature and maps, and
they're making those connections.
All of those connections across curricula, bringing in geography that way.
I love that there's something that is like a prefab unit study, because it's teaching you as a parent, is this a method that my kids really retain information from?
Yeah.
How much time did it take? Could I do this with another subject? And it's kind of training you how unit studies can work.
Well, and this kind of resource too, I think it's just good to have available, you know, throughout your years of homeschooling. You'll come back to it again and again.
Just have
like, oh yeah, what can I do for Africa? Help me out. You find your section in Africa, you're like, that's right.
So
that's
this is like a parent guidebook, is that right?
Right. There's not much here with, besides the
Reproducibles
puzzles
and stuff,
crosswords and your mazes.
Are those something you can copy?
Yes, it says right on the front, reproducibles.
Yes.
Reproducibles,
Again
yeah.
and
Okay.
again.
Recipes and yeah.
How
Cooking.
fun to
Yes.
explore a country or a state and do a food project. You know, kids really remember that stuff.
Yes.
I mean, I do.
You got
I
the
do.
flags, coloring flags. Also
I
fun.
like flags. Yes. That's cool. I've got one more that's kind of different, and then we're going to talk about some of the hands-on elements.
You like this one. You've done a whole product video over
do.
this one.
And guess what? I bet David will link it.
I bet he will too.
So this is trick geography.
I also love that it's all
Which,
color
by the way,
coordinated.
Galloping the Globe. Show me the icons real quick, Tara, on Galloping the Globe.
It's just me faith-based.
Cantering the Country.
And this is book.
Traditional.
Traditional book, although it's got kind of unit study approach
Well,
too.
is that the unit study icon?
The book? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. See, still
Sorry.
learning that. Your medium teacher involvement. Your parents will have to be doing
That's
some stuff.
expected with a unit study.
Multi-sensory, 100%.
100%.
Yeah. And
It's
then
like
this
so
one's additional
multi.
resources.
Yes,
through.
because like if you're looking through here, you see the book list.
It doesn't
you see,
include the cooking supplies.
You're not going to get the cooking supplies. Yes, there's going to be things that you need
Where are my
to
chocolate
breed.
chips?
So yeah.
I ordered a recipe book and it didn't come with the ingredients. How fun. Yeah, that's a
Trick
cool one.
geography.
So this one is not religious. This is neutral. And you've got some options here. So real quick, you show the world for me. There's a teacher guide. And we've got on our website how long each of these take. So you can do the world, or you've got Africa.
This country.
Here's a USA. So in the world one, you're going to cover the USA as
It's very
country.
Yes, it's just very like let's talk about all of these.
in the context of North
Yes.
America, right? So this is where you're deep diving into that. You can also work on Europe. That'd be super cool if you're doing like Story of the World and you want to tie in Renaissance or something.
Yep.
We've got Asia. And if you watch the video, you'll know that each student needs the student book. This is not optional. You have to have that teacher book. But the whole premise is mnemonic devices. So they'll show you a state, and then they'll make something cute out of it. And it's,
Velcro,
It's,
so it sticks.
Thank you. Yes. Or hook and loop tape. Yes. Hook and
I
loop
think it
tape.
also works really well with this imagination, right? What
Oh,
does
yeah.
Canada might look like? Well, to me, it almost looks like you can see the kids kind of seeing
Yes.
that, like looking in the sky at the clouds.
Well,
you know,
and that's
seeing
something
those shapes.
we naturally do. Of like, if I say Italy,
Right.
what
It's a
pops
boot.
into your head?
Boot.
A
Yeah.
boot.
Yeah.
If I say the Panhandle State,
Yeah.
what pops into your head? Like
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
all
are so
there.
creative
Yeah.
in there. I mean, I was like, oh, I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah, and she was a teacher, and these were things she used in her classroom. Really cool tips and tricks. But I think there's also value there in teaching kids how to study, how to remember.
Yes.
It's like teaching them strategies to retain information because there's just so much to know
Well,
with
with
geography.
there is no rhyme or reason to it. There's no pattern. You have to just like memorize these shapes. There's no actual like formula to draw
Right.
the world.
Right.
I mean, there's songs, there's the maps. Yeah, there's an element of you just have to learn it. Exactly, exactly. But how you do that,
Lots
you've got
of ways.
some
It's
fun
up to
options.
you.
Lots of
Yeah,
ways to
it's
do
up
it.
to you.
Yeah.
I love the drawing element too. For the geographers, the families that love that drawing, learning to draw the maps is such a fun activity. They're learning, but there is a lot of squiggles and straight
Yes.
lines and into detail they have to learn.
Yeah, you've got a cool artsy.
Oh yes, the art
here.
Little Thomas Art
12.
K-12. I just grabbed the Africa, but again, it breaks it down for someone who wants to draw the world. But
me to
if you
show
try to
some
freehand
pages?
it, you get really frustrated.
Yeah.
So this
You're
is a
just
guide.
trying-
This is not a consumable workbook. And what's the premise here?
We're going to show you how to draw each continent, but piece by piece.
Very
And within context. So,
bite-sized pieces.
You're going to start with the Red Sea, right? If you can draw the Red Sea, you've gotten the first part of Africa.
Which alone
Figure
looks
it
like
out.
nothing until we
It kinda
start
looks like a slug.
building.
And then looking
Honestly.
at, okay, here is this next square, and Libya's got a little squishel to it.
Look at you making your own trick geography.
I mean, I love it, but then also, of course, they're learning that geography. And then
they're
next time they hear the
building.
word, Libya, they're like, I remember it's got the.
That's like
squiggle.
on this side of Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's really fun to be able to draw something so complicated and break it down. There's such a feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah.
There is.
They show it to you, they say, what is it, Mom? You go, that's Africa.
Now, when I said you're not drawing on this, so the idea is you are taking printer paper, plain white 8.5 by 11 paper, and you're drawing each page
Little by little.
And then you're taping those together to make a big map of Africa. So you can use this one book over and over again. Now, if you've got a child who's not particularly good at fine motor or such, you can print off free templates. And that's going to get them
trace.
started, and they can use that as a guide. There's a whole series.
I think it was 2 years ago, our enrichment guide was a photo of one of our families doing this program on their driveway with chalk. And I was like, oh, that is genius.
That would be so
I
fun.
love that idea. And think about those kinetic learners. They don't just need to do the hands-on, they need to move their whole body.
So like
They need to be
Egypt needs to be
immersed.
this big.
Well, you talked about remembering on the playground.
Oh my gosh, yes. We had those painted United States maps. And we would play map tag. So someone would call out Texas. Well, everyone knows where Texas is.
Yep.
And then someone would call out New Jersey or New Hampshire. And we're like,
Vermont,
New
Midwest
Hampshire.
kids here.
yes.
Which?
And then the funny one was always Rhode Island, because if you had like 11 people playing, all 11 people had to get like a toe in Rhode Island.
So that connection is being made.
Yes.
It's smaller than Texas.
Yeah.
And it's
quite a
over
ways.
there.
And it's way over there.
So they're
By the
getting
water.
that sense of, here's me, here's where I live, Illinois in our case, here's Texas, wow, it's massive, look at how big it is, and here's Rhode Island, oh, it's tiny, and it's way over there, oh gosh, there's a bunch of states over there. And now they're asking questions and they're building curiosity, but it comes from that very concrete place, literally on the playground, of I am standing in Texas,
Yes.
I am standing in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
What a cool connection. And you know, those connections are so valuable. This really detailed coloring book is amazing too.
Now this would be for older
Absolutely.
students. I don't have a grade level on this, but there's a level of detail. So if you have someone
Wow.
who's really doing a high level study,
Yeah.
and you want to get every mountain range in just the right place, then this
That's a
would be,
cool add-on to a cultural geography.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
flags
those are
are
flags.
good too.
Yeah.
Flags are really a fun way to do those.
That is
art
very
activities.
detailed.
Yeah, this is very detailed.
Is that ocean currents?
This is like the adult coloring books. Like you have to have some
Those are
fine,
ocean currents.
some fine pencils.
Yeah.
You know, for getting in those
Yes, you
tiny
would.
spots. So make sure you get an extra box of pencils.
Yes.
But you could also, that then becomes a reference tool. And because you've spent time coloring and it takes time and you're focused on this one page for 10 to 20 minutes, guess what? You're looking at that map over and over
10
and
to
over
20
and
minutes
over.
at a time. Yeah.
Versus going, oh yeah, that's cute, you know.
Yeah.
Gives me the shivers.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm geeking out
getting
just a
the
bit.
We
shivers.
just love all those connections.
just a
and
bit.
It's amazing how, like, just looking at geography and seeing how it can connect to every other subject, honestly.
Weather maps.
Weather maps, those currents in there. And, you know, you're bringing science in all of a sudden. And one thing that I wish I had mastered was longitude and latitude.
There's some
Still don't have that down.
But if you're learning those latitude and longitude lines, when they get older into algebra and doing the grid, they're kind of going, oh, the grid, the up and the
Yes.
down.
Those
and the
lines
left.
mean something.
Yes.
Time zones, all these different things. You know, literature, where's the story, what's the setting? Where's it taking place? Where was Anne of Green Gables? Well, where is PEI?
Yeah.
Isn't it Prince Edward Island?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Where is
It's a small
that?
place.
Where is that?
Right.
So now they've got, I like this story, I like this book, I want to know where they are. Okay, and again, their place is always, I'm here in Illinois, here's Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
That's one thing I love about the Knotgrass, that new geography, because they're connecting those literature books. And so when they're reading these stories about wombats, it's a darling little book series. You know, they're reading that as they're studying Australia. And so it's just more connections. We're all about the connections
Because
here.
they're going to think wombat, Australia for the rest of their life.
Yes.
I mean, my generation was kangaroo, but I like that we've expanded
Do you know what a wombat
beyond
is?
there. Art is a really easy place to make connections,
Yes,
whether it's
we've
the
seen
child
that,
doing this
and-
or you're talking about art history and where some of these beautiful creations were made. Where are they now? Is there a
Yeah.
museum? Can I go see
Right.
it? How
That's
cool.
the Memoria Press stuff. They have those cards, the little art
Yes.
history flashcards, which would
Yes.
work wonderfully
What a
with
cool
that geography.
tie-in.
Yes.
Yeah, Bible. Connect it to the Bible.
Yeah, you have those, you know, most Bibles, even kids' Bibles, will have your little map
Map in the
of
back.
Bible lands, but going, okay, where does the Bible lands fit onto the globe?
Yeah.
Find it on the globe.
Yes.
And by the way, where am I?
Yeah.
So now here's, you know, here's the Fertile Crescent, and here's me on this very concrete 4 3/8 inch globe. Do you know why I keep joking about this
4
globe?
3/8 inch globe.
For whatever reason, we have some reviews on these smaller globes that say, oh, it was kind of small. So I just want to show you. This is, here's a coffee cup, here's a globe. Here we go.
Child size.
It is child size. It's perfect for little learners.
Hands and little learners. And just space confinements, but also showing the shape of the earth versus a flat map.
Yeah.
It's so
Well, even
valuable.
with the Bible lesson, if you're studying your missionaries, you know, if you have missionaries visiting your church, and I know a lot of churches these
Absolutely.
days have big maps in their foyer, which I'm a fan of, and they say,
And they
here are
put
the
like a
people-
pin
yeah, here are
where-
the people
yeah.
and where they are, and to be able to again
Yeah.
connect the map with someone that we know, or someone that we're praying for. It's kind of a nice way to
and those
connect the two
connections
together.
bring in
There's
meaning.
There's this little map book from Rose Publishing that we carry that has like all of those biblical maps in it, but then there's an overlay of like modern
now,
modern
'cause the
day.
lines have changed.
Yes, and
The
so you
lines have
can just
changed.
kind of like flip flop.
Or flip-flap. You do whatever you want.
And kind of see. I just have it tucked in the back of my Bible now because I can just kind of like see. Oh, ancient times now.
Where's
And
Babylon?
just, get some context for my
Exactly.
studies. Yeah.
Exactly.
So geography just has a way of like
I just think you can
flowing
connect it
into everything.
to
Now,
anything.
Sarah, you like foreign language. How does it connect to foreign language?
Well, in being a former French teacher, you say, obviously people speak French in France, but guess what? They also speak French in Africa.
Yes.
And we know Canada, but the Africa thing is always kind of interesting. Why do they speak French in
Right.
Africa?
And it brings that why question, that discovery.
And now we're
into
connecting
it.
history and geography and language instruction, and that's so
Or what
valuable.
if we're reading the cities in France? What do those cities sound like when you pronounce them?
Sure.
Can I pronounce them
Yes.
correctly?
Yes.
I don't know.
In Illinois, it's hit and miss. I can
Yes,
get
it
50
is.
I think the city's pronounced this way, but we better consult something else.
Yes.
When they have Marseilles, Illinois is Marseille. Yes, I'm used to it. It's a thing here, but
it really is all about making those connections.
because that's what sticks.
Yes.
Then if you really want to torture your child, you bring in spelling and have them try to spell those
Spell
other
everything.
countries and cities.
To me, that's just one of those stealthy benefits of geography. Is
We're
learning
also in
the
Illinois,
spelling.
you know?
We're in Illinois. Yep.
Where's that happy globe killer? I'm going to throw it at you right now. So we've got a ton of games here to explore. We'll put links for those below. You can check those out. And those are good
fun
family.
way. Yeah. A
Puzzles
fun
are
way
great, too.
just to add geography
This
hands-on.
top one says age 70 to 99
Yep.
years. So great
70.
family way to bring in some geography and show off some of your mad homeschool skills. I mean, I hope you'll have some fun testing out some of these new geography, interesting, hands-on, exploratory items and the curriculum. And as always, give us a call.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
anytime.
have way more than just this.
Way
This
more.
Is like a
Way more.
sampler.
So much more. So much more. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.